Welcome to E-Pathsala. I am Dr. R. Sunita, Assistant Professor, Department of Textiles and Clothing, Avinashalingam University, Coimbatore. In this module, we are going to see about solid waste in textile industries and the management of solid waste in textile industries, which is from textile industries. The products produced from textile industry have some kind of impact on the environment. This may be hazardous sometimes. Textiles are made from various functions and are made up of different types of fibers mixed in varying proportions. The application of fibers can be classified into three categories, namely apparel, home furnishing and industrial. Most of the fiber products are short term to medium term use, enduring up to few years in their service of life. Textile waste unit is persuaded by the production of textile goods. Higher the production, greater is the amount of waste. The growing consumption of products is an indicator of the increasing amount of waste generated in the world, which has increased environmental awareness and social responsibility, reinforced by strict legislation in developed countries, leading to the creation of more efficient waste management practices. Green consumerism has stimulated industries to promote an environmentally correct image to the public. Excellence program requires mills to set up awareness and action programs. The apparel manufacturers have instituted environmentally correct production processes and recycling programs. Waste. What is waste? Waste is defined as any product or substance that has no further use or value. It is perceived to be a problem for they harm the environment and human health, take up space for landfills, and that the costs are increasing to the use existing and replace landfill, and these are end of product life cycle that causes environmental impacts and depletes the valuable resources. What is a textile waste? The waste from textile community through various streams, which includes fiber industry and clothing manufacturing industry, consumers, commercial and service industries. Textile solid waste belongs to the industrial and non-dangerous waste and is defined as waste of raw material referred to the fabric trims, scraps or parts rejected by defects in manufacturing processes or the clothing industry. Producing textiles is an environmentally damaging process as it consumes large quantities of natural resources like water, oil, and they use toxic chemicals and generate large amounts of carbon dioxide. The waste can be of three kinds, namely pre-consumer waste, post-consumer waste, and industrial textile waste. Pre-consumer textile waste. The pre-consumer textile waste is the leftovers or byproducts from textile fiber or cotton industries. Pre-consumer textile waste is nothing but the manufacturing waste which is generated by processing of fibers, production of finished yarns and textiles, technical textiles, nonwovens, garment and footwear, including off-cut selvages, shearings and rejected materials. Pre-consumer textile waste is usually a clean waste. It is generated by retailers primarily in the form of unsold merchandise. The unsold merchandise may be sent directly to their own outlets or clearance centers. The textile waste can directly be sold to outlets or to jobbers or consolidators who in turn resell the merchandise to other outlet stores. Another disposal option is to send the textile waste directly to non-profit organizations. The last option open to retailers is sending the textile waste directly to the landfills, but this method is the least used as the waste still has a resale value. Next is the post-consumer textile waste. Post-consumer textile waste is the waste of fleece, flannel, corduroy, cotton, nylon, denim, wool and linen which have passed through the consumer market. It consists of any type of garment or sold textiles such as sheets or towels which are discarded by the consumers for the reasons that they are worn out, damaged, outgrown, or have gone out of fashion. This category may be reasonable to good quality garment that can be recovered and recycled by another user as second-hand clothing. Clothing that cannot be worn again may be shredded into fibers to be used into products. These items are given to charities sometimes and put in trash which ends in the landfills. Now the amount above held is recycled as second-hand clothing. Non-profit organizations are around 40% of the estimated collected goods. The balance is sold to rag graders and export companies. The company, who is a textile recycler and exporter, primarily purchases from non-profit organizations, then processes and sells about 8,000 tons of post-consumer textile waste a year. This company handles different kinds of clothing, rags and wipers, and recycles over 96% of the textile waste they receive. Industrial textile waste. Industrial textile waste is obtained from commercial and industrial textile applications, including commercial waste from properties such as carpets and curtains, hospital refuse, in addition to industrial applications such as filtration, conveyor belt, etc. Industrial textile waste is a dirty waste. Substantial proportion of these end-of-life goods are consigned to landfill. The vast majority of the solid waste stream is contributed by the post-producer waste from industry. Total post-consumer solid waste accounts for only 2% of the nation's total annual output of 11.7 billion tons. The textile waste worth to 1.5 and 1.9 billion pounds of new fiber and fabric wastes are generated annually by the fiber producers, textile mills and fabric manufacturers. Of this total, apparel manufacturers contribute 450 to 600 million tons annually in the form of apparel cuttings. Sources of textile waste. Coming to the sources of textile waste, majority of the textile waste comes from household sources. The clothes discarded as they become unfashionable and undesirable. These are post-consumer waste that goes to jumble sales and charitable organizations. The household textiles coming to these organizations are sold and or donated. The remaining goods go to either a textile recovery facility or a landfill. Textile waste also arise during yarns and fabric manufacturing, apparel making processes, and from the retail industry. They are the post-industrial waste. Apart from these textile wastes, other wastes such as PET bottles, that is polyethylene terephthalate bottles, are also used for recycling polyester fiber. Waste from textile industry includes fibers damaged during storage or manufacturing. Major solid waste from garments industry factories comprises fabric waste from garment cutting amounting to 10 to 20% of the fabric consumption. The sources of these solid hazardous waste include waste solvents from machine cleaning, unused finished materials, and dyeing and printing materials. Some of these hazardous materials include metallic chlorinated solvents. Textile manufacturing processes like wart preparation, weaving, dyeing, printing, finishing, and quality and process control generates lot of waste during these processes. The major waste generated by this sector are fiber waste, yarn spinning waste, hard fiber, offcuts waste, packaging, and spool. The data of metropolitan city like Bangalore in 2012 show that the maximum waste of 36% is from apparel and 34.4% from fabrics. Other 15.2% of solid waste is of resins, 12.2% contributed by fiber, and 2.3% from dyes. Industrial processes and waste include scrap of fabric and yarn. These are waste associated with the storage and production of yarns and textiles such as chemical storage drums, cardboard reels for storing fabric, and cones used to hold yarns for dyeing and knitting. Cutting room waste generates a high volume of fabric scraps. The majority of this waste generates from other sources during operations such as transportation, bale openings, service process, housekeeping, etc. These wastes can be recycled. Lint waste can generate from many textile production steps, particularly from preparation, dyeing and washing operations. The lint removal is easy by filtration process. The filters must be cleaned periodically. The collected lint may be sent to landfill or incinerated. Higher quality lint can be marketed. Effects of solid waste. Another product of decomposition in landfill is methane gas, which is a major cause of greenhouse gases which contributes to global warming. The decomposition of organic fibers and yarn such as wool produces large amounts of ammonia as well as methane. Ammonia is highly toxic in both terrestrial and aquatic environments and are toxic in gaseous form. Cellulose-based synthetics decay at a faster rate than chemical-based synthetics. In the past, textile waste has been incinerated in large quantities, emitting organic substances such as dioxins, heavy metals, acidic gases, and dust particles, which are all potentially harmful to both humans and the environment. Waste minimizes options include reducing the quality of packing material, purchasing chemicals in returnable drums, and purchasing yarns on reasonable loans. The need to reduce waste supply is necessary due to its accumulation. However, this process is considered long-term period which requires proper management in the short and medium term, avoiding environmental and health problems for humans. As far as the medical textiles is concerned, the problem of disposal waste is that the reusable surgical textiles are demonstrating increased clinical satisfaction while also providing comparable barrier protection. And reusable table and covers, surgical towels, etc. drive down the costs by reducing the volume of waste generated. Reusable isolation gowns can reduce waste by 80% and can cost up to 50% less than the disposable. Reusable isolation or barrier gowns are engineered using microfiber technology that produces 100% polyester, tightly woven and fluid repellent fabric made of continuous filament thread. Isolation gowns protect healthcare workers from blood and bodily fluids. This provides comfort and allow for sterilization. It's available in several levels of protection. On the other hand, single-use disposable isolation gowns generate 5 times more solid waste than a reusable product. Reusable surgical packs decrease the waste and costs when the comparison is made between the laundered pack and the disposable surgical packs, which are thrown in trash in lot. There will be an increase in use of reusable surgical gowns and drapes, as these seem to be cost effective as they don't cause much waste on hand. Recovery of textile waste. The practice of recovering textile waste is the old technique. The recovery units are gaining so much of importance these days, mainly in foreign countries. Today, recovering textile waste is a multi-billion-dollar global industry that performs a vital social and environmental function and provides employment for millions of people all around the world. The textile waste from products or listings, including headings such as hosiery cuttings and clips, polyester tow, cotton pieces, used clothing wipes, rags, denim, jean clippings, 100% of cotton yarn waste, silk fiber waste can be utilized. Collection is mostly of post-consumer waste by means of community donations deposited into charity bins, thousands of which are located across The vision of every organization and municipality is to recycle all its waste into usable products. Now we'll see about recycle. Textile recycling should be done for both environmental and economical benefits. It avoids many polluting and energy-intensive processes that are used to make textiles from fresh materials. The Council for Textile Recycling reports that each year 750,000 tons of post-producer textile waste is recycled into new raw materials for the automotive, furniture, mattress, coarse yarn, home furnishings, paper and other industries. Reports say that 73% of the post-producer fabric waste recycled annually, approximately 150 million pounds, are reprocessed into fiber, 200 million pounds are sorted for color and exported to be respun, and 100 million pounds are used to make wipers. About 75% of the post-producer textile waste is recycled instead of disposed in landfills. By doing this, the requirement of landfill space is reduced. Textiles lead to many problems in landfill. The synthetic fibers do not decompose. Woolen garments do decompose but produce methane, which contributes to global warming. Pressure on fresh resources too is reduced. This leads to balance of payments as we buy few materials for our requirements. As fibers get locally available, they don't have to be transported from abroad, thus reducing the pollution and saving energy. Lesser energy is consumed while processing, as items don't need to be re-dyed or scoured. Wastewater reduces as it does not have to be thoroughly washed with large volumes of water as it is done for, say, raw wool. Demand is reduced for textile chemicals like dyes and fixing agents. Textile recycling is the reuse or reproduction of fibers from textile waste. The worldwide recycling industry performs most important social and environmental functions. The various stages of recycling process provide significant employment around the world. The garment or household textiles can effectively be recycled by sale or gift to another user. The UK-based Recycling Association estimates that up to 95% of the textiles that are landfilled each year could be recycled. Of the textile waste recovered by the charities, 60% of the items of clothing that can be reworn or reused, and 15% can be torn into industrial wiping and polishing clothes. Cotton can be used for making rags or form a component for new high-quality paper. Knitted or woven woolens are brought to the state of fiber for reuse by the textile industry and are used for car insulation and seat stuffing. Other kinds of fabric are reprocessed into fibers for upholstery, insulation and even building materials. The fasteners used are taken off for reuse. If all available means of reuse and recycling are properly utilized, only about 5% of the remaining solid waste needs to be disposed of. Methods of recycling. The simplest method of recycling scrap is by granulating, but this produces a product in most cases is impossible to reuse directly into the primary manufacturing process of fiber. It is noisy and dirty with much dust. The scrap cannot be filtered to remove the impurities. The standard method of extrusion is by melting, filtering and palletizing. Scrap cannot be fed directly into the extruder and needs to be put through the granulator first. This gives problem because the often light fluffy material is degraded due to high shear and heat. The process is dusty and noisy and energy usage is high. Semi or fully automatic aggregators. Research and innovation have resulted in finding the extrusion process which is dust free. It has low noise level, occupies a small space, gas, low energy usage and generates low maintenance costs. It can produce clean, full bulk density filtered pellets with little or no degradation directly from PP, PE, PET, film, fiber or scrap bottles at a high output and low operating cost. The high performance, which is independent of the shape and bulk density of the material to be processed, results from the new concept of using a shredder drum attached to an extrudes. The shredder drum is commonly fed with the rate being automatically controlled by the load on the shredder motor, which drives high-speed rotary knives that not only cut the material but also heat it to just below its melting point. This hot material is then fed into the extruder, which melts the material and passes it through a filter to remove contaminants, and then into water-cooled die head to produce pellets, which are dried, stored and bagged. Since the material is got into a short extrudes, the screw is designed with deep feed, which produces little or no shear. This produces a maximum heat history, which results in little or no change in the melt index. The quality of material is so that it can be reused in higher value added product. In the conventional extrusion, material is heated primarily by shear from the extrusion screw, which causes considerable degradation of polymer and a high energy usage. These particles may be used in a number of ways, such as filling for cushions or bags for upholstery, for packing, manufacturing mats, and in the automotive industry. Upholstered furniture comprises of non-woven textile with a number of bonding degrees. They are also set up as textile cover material. Non-wovens used in areas well below the surface are made from the reclaimed fibers. They are of eco-interest with respect of recycling. Usually these are prepared from white primary fibers. Regenerating textiles. All textile streams are often unrealized sources of valuable raw materials that can be regenerated. Processing machinery is also likely to be engineered to produce a specific product, and thus the investment in developing regenerating capabilities is often large scale. Products made by regenerating textile waste include acoustics textiles used for soundproof blocks, insulation, roofing felt, bank stabilization, and as pollution control filters. Barriers to recovering textile waste. There are numerous political, economic, social, technological, environmental, legal, and institutional barriers to the improvement of resource recovery in certain places. They are knowledge, finance, research and development, community awareness, and facts and figures. One of the barriers faced by the company and is in search through design and product development is consumer resistance against innovations such as recycled yarn. Solid waste management. Management means managing things for utilization of resources in best manner, which can help to save time, cost and resources. Levels of waste management. Waste management can be of two levels, namely industrial level and household level. Waste management at industrial level. Non-hazardous textile waste at industrial level generally includes fibers, yarns, cut-off fabric pieces, defective fabrics with construction, extra fabric cutting contributed by various industries and factories. About 10 to 15% of waste produced by industries is hazardous, and the generation of hazardous waste is increasing at the rate of 2 to 5% per year. Pure white cotton fibers may be converted to super absorbent polymers by chemical modification and can be used for production of medical textiles, that is, in diapers. With low quality material, there is another possibility for developing super absorbent agro textiles for water storage and controlled water release for plantation in arid and desert land. It may be possible to produce cellulose in the powder form, which can be used as fillers or for blending with other polymers for developing a composite material. Wool fibers normally recycled by blending with new wool to produce new textile product. The final product may be little harder but surely long lasting. Polypropylene, which is widely used in the production of sportswear, can be reprocessed by producing pellets, master batches, and further molding into different plastic components. Sludge management in textile industry is a major problem due to its surplus volume. Typically, solid waste management is mainly to remove the waste by carrying them out of the city boundaries and dumping them there. Steps have been taken to utilize these waste for converting it into useful low-cost bricks. Textile sludge has a variable composition and contains high organic matter, NPK, and micronutrient contents. In addition, dyes, heavy metals, and pathogenic microorganisms may be presented. Composting may be done for utilization and transformation of these waste in the soil improvement. During the composting, the plant nutrients present in the waste are converted by microbial action into soluble forms available to plants. Composting also increases or eliminates the toxicity of textile sludge. Vermicomposting is commonly used for the management of organic waste. It was investigated that the potential of an earthworm biological treatment with activated sludge was found to be more efficient and reliable in terms of organic matter removal than chemical coagulation for the treatment of textile processing industry waste. Benefits of reducing waste at industrial level. Reducing the cost of purchased material by maximizing fiber use. Increasing profitability as lost product means less profit. Minimizing solid waste treatment and disposal costs. Improving waste quality and reducing treatment costs. Reducing environmental impacts by reducing use of raw materials and producing less waste. Waste management at household level. Hazardous waste at household level generally includes products like paper, aluminium cans, metal, steel cans, tires, batteries thrown by the local public. Factors at household level contributing to the environment pollution are as follows. Increased income. With the increase in income, luxury budget of individuals have increased, which has led to more discarded clothes contributing to the textile waste. Dynamic nature and fashion. Because of this nature of the fashion, people tend to discard the clothes more often to acquire new fashionable garments. Worn out clothes. Normally, worn out clothes are discarded without any recycling or reuse. Suggested measures at household level. Formal reuse waste can reduce by reuse of clothes. Example is that it can be handed over to the second-hand shop or to the needy people who cannot afford new clothes. Semi-formal reuse. Selling on website. Example for this can be that the children inherit clothes from siblings, friends, sharing clothes, making the products by reusing discarded fabric or clothes. Waste minimization actually offers the best possibilities for environmental aspect of sustainable development by reducing the resource use and avoiding production of waste. Recovery, trade and recycling activities are the steps in the waste management. Any important difference in evaluating the value of such waste follows is that made between unmixed sources of waste. So let us summarize and conclude our this module by saying that textile industry is one of the most polluting industries. Not only production but consumption of textiles also produce waste. To overcome this problem, textile industry has taken many measures towards the environment. Textile waste recycling will become ever more important. The engineers are trying to innovate economical recycling processes which also included the textile field. There is an opportunity to develop knowledge networks to develop pre-consumer waste and resulting products. Maximizing waste diversion towards recovery and recycling is the waste primary environmental goal. At this point is not well developed among the local authorities and citizens. Rather, their activities take place mainly in a private market content. Therefore, evaluating value is currently the only method we can use and expect to what extent recovery of waste materials is likely to increase when then incentives are changed. With growing attention to the environment, responsibility towards solid waste management, the textile and apparel industry has expanded its efforts to reduce the disposal of post-producer textile waste in landfills. Consumer education must be encouraged to stimulate the appreciation for the value of textile recycling to the environment as well as one's own personal economy. They should be informed on different types of textile products conducive to recycling benefits of recycling certain apparel items and potential outlets for disposing of the textile products.